how you feeling about Justin Herbert, making the most money? You think that, oh my gosh, they overpaid him. What the heck are they doing with that? Or you say, okay, well, that makes sense. He has all these passing records his first couple of years in terms of first 3-year start. So how you feel?
He's definitely talented. I don't think he deserves to be the highest paid quarterback. He's still kind of unproven. He hasn't really done anything.
But there's like 7 people who make more than Patrick Mahomes, who's the best. So like most people, there's like 7 people make more.
I mean, yeah, just because the market was reset. An event.
He has a longer contract.
Yeah. But I'm still waiting. Nothing he's done in my head has solidified him as like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He is talented and he's good. Yeah.
Not one of the best. You don't think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Like he's not the best or top 5. Maybe he's not top. Maybe like 5,
10?
6.
He about 8,
He's top 10.
8 or 7.
He's top 10.
He's top 10.
He's top
8 or
10.
7.
He's definitely top 10.
About 8 or 7.
Not top 5 though.
But I could see, like, for me, I could see him being, because I talked about, like, it was realistic, like, he break the market. Someone will just re-break it from him. But then if you're a Chargers fan, like, who in the NFL, there's only one quarterback in the NFL that you're like, yeah, I'll take this guy over Herbert. Like, there's no one, I believe, that is just so much better than Herbert that even with bias, even with just, like, your bias is going to say, okay, I'll just take Herbert. Only Mahomes, the only person I'd be like, okay, like, for sure. I don't even have to think about that. But everyone else, like, Allen over Herbert, I'd be like, if they say, hey, we'll give you Josh Allen, we get Herbert, I'd be like, I'll just keep Herbert. Even if Allen's, like, better slightly, it's not such a gap where I'm like.
Joe Burrow, definitely.
Burrow, I'd be like.
No, ain't nothing to think about. Joe,
one
is a winner and the other one, just don't get it done.
What did they won?
I mean,
what Joe Burrow
to the
won?
Super Bowl.
I know, but he ain't win. You said a winner.
Bro,
you said he's a winner, but he ain't win.
He's been to the AFC Championship.
No, he's better.
No,
he's
been to the
better.
AFC
Yeah,
Championship,
he's
what, multiple times?
He's
better,
yeah. Twice. He's been to the Super Bowl. How is he not a winner?
If you're a Chargers fan, you're biased,
no,
right? So even being better, you're not going to be like, unless he's significantly
he's a winner,
better.
Though.
Do you think Joe Burrow is significantly better than Herbert?
It don't matter
he's significantly better.
Significantly better or not. He's a winner.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all that matters. If you, okay, you say he lost in a Super Bowl, that's fine. But
Joe Burrow's he's more of a winner than Herbert is. I'm not going to debate that. I won't even debate that. Like, Herbert is not, like, Herbert obviously has issues. Burrow is more of a winner. Burrow is more of a winner
he's
than
a
Herbert.
Winner.
He wins more in the playoffs. But like, yeah, he wins more in the playoffs.
He's a winner.
But I don't know
why he's saying more
when you say
of
winner,
a winner.
like,
Dak is more of a winner than Justin Herbert. But I want to say Dak is a winner.
He win more, but winner, like, when I think winner, I'm thinking like champs. I'm thinking when you say winner, I'm thinking champ. That's the ultimate win. Like, you win, but just lose in the playoffs further. You're more of a winner. You've won more. You're more successful. I want to just call you
Super Bowl, AFC Championship, bro. Like, yeah, in basketball, you have to take it all the way. But in football, I mean, I don't think it's. I'd rather have the guy that's taking me to the AFC Championship and a Super Bowl than a guy who's taking me to a first-round exit when I have a 30-point lead. Like, come on, bro. That's not even debatable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying Burrow's better. He's better. I'm not saying,
but it's not even though it's not a debate though. That's nothing to debate. Like, if I had Justin Herbert or a Burrow, that's not even.
No, but look. You would pick Joe Burrow, but I'm a Charger fan. You are just sitting like in the middle. Of course, you pick Joe Burrow over Herbert. But if you're a Charger fan, you've seen Justin Herbert, and like obviously he's not a postseason dynamo. He don't do nothing in the postseason so far. But regular season, all the passing yards, touchdowns, whatever, does his thing, right? Now, bias-wise, you're gonna pick Herbert. You're not gonna break my bias enough to say, let me just go get Joe Burrow. The only person who would break my bias fully for is Patrick Mahomes, because that's just a guy that just clears everyone. Burrow is better. If you're just unbiased, you clearly pick Burrow. But if you're just a Charger fan, you probably go it's fine. I'll keep Herbert.
If the Chargers miss the playoffs or go out in the first round again, does that change?
Does that change? So if they miss the playoffs, I mean, they're supposed to be better. So, like, it could change, definitely. I would say things can definitely change. Like, Herbert can be just a perennial choker, and then you can say, okay, yeah, and Joe Burrow makes another deep run. You can say, okay. But at this point, I'm not like, I know, like, if I had an option, I'm picking Joe Burrow. But if I'm a Charger fan, I'm just like, the only person I really trade for would be Patrick Mahomes. If I had to straight up trade, I'd be content for the most part, unless it's Mahomes. And I'm like, okay, we can do a trade.
Because I'll be like, I would say, like, okay, Joe Burrow, like, they're close enough, but they have like their talent. There's still talent there. Like I feel like there's still like, what's his name? Whoever his name for the Chargers. I'm forgetting his blank on his name, but like,
wait, the running back?
No. I'm actually like the player.
Allen?
Like,
Herbert.
you talking about Herbert. Sorry, I could remember. Okay, I blanked on his name for like a quick second. Like I still think like in terms of talent, they're still relatively close. Yes, I think Joe Burrow is the better player, but they're close. Damn, it's like that. It's like that, John. I think
he's like, does Herbert not even close?
It's not even close. I think you don't. You don't think at least in terms of talent, like, but you go.
They're close.
Okay, but if you're saying talent, but I'm so tired of that word talent. This talent that
matter.
Aaron Rodgers is more talented than Tom Brady. Okay, how does that translate? That's all that mattered, bro. When you look at Lamar, the one thing that they talk about when we look at Lamar is, what are he doing in the playoffs? He's this, he's that. He can't throw.
Like that? Who's that person?
That's the trolls online. He throws like this. He runs the ball. He's a running back. Whatever, bro. Like that's what they mentioned. So you cannot just absolve him from that. If you're gonna say this player, and everybody say, oh, he hasn't been in the league that long, then why is he a top 5? You don't put him in your top 5 if you're gonna use an excuse to.
I think it's production wise. I think it's because of his production.
He hasn't been productive.
I think he's been productive.
I'm talking about his yards and touchdowns. He has
stats.
Like the high his stats. That production is very high,
bro. Like I don't know, because I just
literally
look at the other
QBs. Wins, like
I look at the other QBs and I look at how they're judged. I look at the Cowboys, their QBs. I see how they're judged based off their playoff success. Then I look at Lamar.
Yeah, that's the Cowboys.
I look at Lamar Jackson.
That's the Cowboys. Yeah.
They talk about his playoff success. So
because he won MVP.
Exactly, and he was a top 5 QB, and they're saying this guy's a top 5. But when you bring up his playoff success, they say, well, he haven't been in there that long. Okay, you got Joe Burrow. He's a legitimate top 5 player. You have to, and if you want to say Joe Burrow has the better team, I'll say he has the better defense. Yeah, but if you're a top 5, and you have a 27-point lead. Come on, bro.
No, but yeah,
he
choked. It's a choke. Yeah. It's a choke.
I understand it's a choke.
At the same time,
you cannot put him top 5 if you choke in that manner. Or if you if you
can you put him top 5 talent?
Top 5 talent for quarterback. Then you have to prove why you're top 5. Like Lamar, he had to get an MVP. He had to lead his team. That's why he was top 5. Joe Burrow, back to back. That's why he was top 5. Allen, AFC conferences. He has the stats to back him. The only thing Herbert has is stats. No, he doesn't have any success to back him. Oh, he's only been in the league for 3 years?
And then one of the years when he made the playoffs, that's because the freaking coach was stupid. When the coach was stupid and they was trying to get a tie, get in there, and then something happened. I don't know what, that Raiders game? I forgot what happened in that game, but it was supposed to get a tie.
The coach played the game the way it was supposed to be played. He called a timeout or something like that. He played
I'm trying to get
the route that you saying to go was weak.
I'm trying to get. We both try to get in this thing, boy. What's the point of even trying to do that? I lost anyway.
But I'm saying he called a timeout to ice the kicker, or was it to ice the kicker? It was something in that manner. Oh no, they were gonna run. They were gonna let the time run out or something. They had lost the game though. He had the ball. He had the ball with the game on the line. He didn't do shit with it. That's all that mattered. He didn't do nothing with it.
They was trying to get, like, if you get a tie and my goal is to advance. I'm just trying to advance.
I understand what you're saying, but you can't put that on the coach, because who ended the game with the ball? Justin Herbert got the ball in overtime. He had a chance to win the game. He didn't do that. So the Raiders got the ball and they marched down the field, and they were in field goal range, so they pretty much won the game. The only reason, if you say he didn't call a timeout, was if they had mercy on them. That was it. But they literally won the game. He had the ball overtime. What did he do? Choked. He had the chance against the Texans. What did he do? Choked. He had a chance against the Jags. What did he do? Choked. So if you're going to, well, not you, but if people are going to say Lamar not top 5 or Lamar's not this because his playoff success, then hey, Trevor Lawrence has more playoff wins than him, and he got drafted after him. So I don't want to hear nothing about time. He's not top 5. He's top 7. Now, Maurice, to answer your question, talent-wise, yes, he's probably top.
He's top 5 talent.
He's probably top 2. as talent go. But I don't care about that.
Dang, that's high praise. Why not? I mean, I understand why. Because winning, you want wins. But that's a lot of that is also.
That's why.
But a lot of that's also like Tom Brady is for sure more of, he's a winner, straight up winner. But some of it's also circumstantial. You gotta look at certain circumstances, and also looking at like Justin Herbert sitting in the division of hell, facing the main character. Little things like that kind of make things a little harder for you. The AFC North is more open, Ravens, Bengals type of thing. AFC West, hey Jared, and you kind of just like, you sit and duck, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of circumstantial.
I see what you're saying, but you can only use that if he's going against the Chiefs to make it into the playoffs. He could have let's look at this. He could have made the playoffs by beating the Texans. That's one of his chances to make the playoffs. He could have made the same year. He could have made the playoffs by beating the Raiders. They were the Chargers were the better team. So don't say because the Chiefs are in this division. It don't, because the Eagles are in our division. It don't matter who's in your division if you still have a.
But they've been good.
Go ahead.
I guess, but they've been good for only one. The Eagles aren't consistently great.
Saying,
the Eagles just had.
It's not one team only can make it. There's 7 teams, so like you still have an opportunity even if you don't beat the Chiefs. Of course, you got the Chiefs, and of course the Chiefs are always going to be number 1 in the division. But you still have a chance. You losing to the Texans. You can get in the playoffs, beat the Texans. Come on, bro. Like, you cannot. You're going
to be on the road, though. It's going to be road games. I feel it. I mean, you ain't going to win the division.
Okay.
But I got you.
It don't matter if it's a road game. Now, let's say they played the Jags this year and they lost to them. That's fine to lose to them. But you can't lose in the manner you lost. That's what I'm saying. If you go out there and then the Jags just, turn up, it's a close game, in the end you lost, I would respect that. But you have a 27-point lead and lose, I cannot respect that if you're a top 5 QB. No, name me another top 5 QB who would have lost that game.
Well, Lamar was known for blowing them 20-point leads in the season. I don't know. They set record for most blown leads, like 2-3 touchdown games.
Didn't they blow leads?
And he did. But I mean, he blew. It was 16 points in 5 minutes. I don't know if you equate that. Like, it's kind of close. 16 to 5 is pretty close.
He got 3 points in 2 quarters, bro. Come on, Lamar not doing that. Lamar, I mean,
he was choking leads though. He was choking leads in the regular season.
He ain't really choking no lead in the playoffs that I know.
No, I don't. Well, yeah, but he gotta get healthy. He gotta get in there.
I mean, he had 3 playoff games.
That's
cool. The first game was against the Chargers. Ironically,
I always remember that.
Yeah,
I always remember that game. That game was tough. And then next game against the Titans,
he got the ball in the end. He had a chance to win. Didn't do it.
He faced the Titans the next year and lost that. And then he faced
Titans that went crazy.
The Titans the next year
and he beat them.
He faced Titans again. He beat the Titans. So he was 0-2, 1-2, 1-3. He's 1-3. He lost to the Bills, and then I don't think he's been back.
He got concussed during that game against the Bills. But regardless. You gotta get a bro. You can't be top 5, bro. I'm sorry. You don't now. Bro,
the talent great, man.
I take money from the QBs and give it to the running backs.
Give me give me $10 million.
Break off some of that. You don't deserve. Really, a lot of times there's really only a few QBs that like make the team. You got Allen. You got mahomes. And then everybody else. No. I wouldn't even say him. I say Mixon plays a big role in that, and he got Jamar Chase. Yeah.
You dig?
Oh, you can put Jamar Chase.
Herbert, they got
backfield.
They got Stephon Diggs for the Bills.
Justin Herbert ain't got no Jamar Chase. Get Justin Herbert, Jamar Chase.
Give Lamar Allen. Imagine Lamar Allen and what's the other receiver they got? I forgot his name. And Eckler. Come on, bro.
Oh, but Keenan Allen always hurt, bro. Keenan Allen always hurt. Keenan Allen hurt every day. Keenan Allen always hurt.
Herbert on the Ravens team, they ain't going nowhere.
No, they'd be good.
Okay.
They'd be pretty good.
Yeah, good coach.
I think they'd be around the same. They have a better coach. I think they'd be around the same. What? Because look, Jared got less beef with Herbert than you do. Who did this? Someone said he better than Dak and that triggered. Is that what happened?
No, yeah, they said he's better. But when I dig deep and I go look at his career and I go look at everything and they saying he top 5, you cannot say somebody's top 5. And then, so like, if you want to say he choked and then I say he choked and you be like, well, he haven't been in the league that long, then I'll say, okay, that's fine. He's a young QB. I'm okay with that. But if you say, well, he's top 5, and then I say, well, he did this, and then you say, well, he haven't played that long, or he haven't accomplished this, and you say, well, he haven't been in the league that long. You can't use that if he's a top 5 QB. So that's what I'm saying. Like, especially when you have younger QBs with more success than him. That's all I'm saying.
So here's the final question I'm gonna ask you. What do you do? What do you do if Justin Herbert wins MVP? What is the title of that podcast? What is the conversation if Justin Herbert wins that league MVP?
I think there's a misconception that I hate him. I don't hate him. I'm tired of other QBs having leniency when they should be judged more harshly. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you want to talk about that, I won't defend him when it comes to the playoff because he hasn't been able to get it done. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. You cannot call this guy top 5, and then when I tell you his playoff history or his career, and then you be like, well, he hasn't played that long. I don't care. He's top 5. You get judged by what you are. And if you're a top 5 QB, then that's what the standards are. Now, if there were no Joe Burrows, then I couldn't say anything. If there were no Trevor Lawrences, I couldn't say anything. But the fact, mahomes, if the fact that there are QBs out there.
How much Trevor Lawrence got?
He got a playoff win, but his second year. This is second year.
Win.
He won and won.
Yeah, with his first, decent coach. The coach last year don't count, so I won't even count that season. But I'm just saying, if it was his rookie year and I said he ain't got no playoff success, that would be different. But he has opportunities, and then you mentioned the Chiefs. You can't use the Chiefs because if he'd have beat the Texans, he would have made the playoffs. So I don't want to hear nothing about the Chiefs in this division. That's irrelevant. So should Jared not think the Broncos can make the playoffs because the Chiefs are in this division? That's irrelevant.
No, it kind of cap you. It's like it cap you. You make the wild card.
It definitely matters.
It matters.
It cap you. It's like,
yes, it caps you at a wild card, but it doesn't. I'm not saying a Super Bowl run. I'm saying make the playoffs. That's the difference. If I say, oh, he can't make the Super Bowl, and then you say he got the Chiefs, then I'll be like, okay, that's fine. But this is just literally making the playoffs. You're going against the Texans for the playoffs, like, and was this a good Texans team? This was without Hopkins, JJ. Come on, bro. So and Kyler Murray. That's another one they mentioned his playoff success. So you gotta. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, they talk about Kyler Murray.
What's that man? 0-1. He got blitzed right out of the league. He got blitzed right out of the game. Boy, that was crazy. That boy got pick 6. He threw it up. Pick 6 with 6 yards. Pick 6 is ridiculous.
They mess him. I'm just saying, like, they talk about his success as well. But I'm saying,
what was the original question?
We got to start judging him like that.
No, because I said, what would he do if he wins MVP? And then he said he doesn't hate him. And why don't hate him?
Did he deserve the money?
Justin Herbert worth
the
52
because I didn't get a chance
a year or something.
He's definitely worth it. Like it's like, who else are you gonna pay? Who else are you gonna give that money to? Like, would you rather not give him that money and then he just leave, and then who the fuck you gonna get then? You gotta start the whole shit over. So you just have to give him the money. Like, even if he's not top 5,
but he didn't earn it. That's what I said.
Oh,
you can give it to him, but he didn't earn it.
But just based on circumstances. It's just based on circumstances.
If Saquon don't deserve it, then how does he deserve it,
is Saquon worth more than Herbert? If you had 2 options, Herbert or Saquon, you taking Saquon?
I probably still take the QB, depending on the situation. Of course, you
John,
still need a.
This is what I want you to do.
You still need a QB.
I want you to do this.
But
I want you to draft. I want you in the fantasy draft. I want you to draft Herbert. I want you to have an experience with Herbert because that's a good draft because he a regular season dynamo, ain't postseason stuff, right? So I want you to draft Herbert, and then so you can have this way you can really judge Herbert. You can watch and analyze his games, analyze his performance. Like, you'll be fully locked into it, right? And that's a good fantasy option.
Do you think people do that with Dak and Lamar? Just curious. Do you think people actually lock into each game they play, or do you think they go look up stats? I'm just wondering.
Are you talking about fans? Or are you talking about haters? Are you talking about trolls and haters?
General, like when people talk about their success, do you think they tune into every game of those players?
For Dak,
or do you think they just
most people don't? I think if you're not a fan, you're not going to.
I don't need.
But unless you're a fantasy, if you're a fantasy,
you tune into him to know. I just see. Were you successful or were you not? That's all that matters in the end.
But look, but sometimes you have to add the context.
Okay, what context?
If you have to, no, I'm saying, like, if you analyze every game he plays, because if I just don't analyze games, then it's different. But if you analyze every game, then you can see, oh, this is weakness, this is strength. Oh, this is because of his coach. Oh, this is because of him. Oh, he's not good decision making. Oh, his coach had bad. You know, you can analyze. If you have him in fantasy, or if you're a fan like me, like Justin Jefferson played really well, but at the same time, I know he's inconsistent at times because he had them games where it got shut down. I'm like, dang, that ruined me in fantasy. So I can definitely hilarious. So you can track it harder. So that's why I'm saying get Justin Herbert. That's a good fantasy option. That's not a bad fantasy option. If you get Justin Herbert,
put up the stats.
There you go.
Okay,
and he'll put up some stats
for you. This for me then. I want you to quit thinking that I hate him. Okay, go ahead. Because I don't hate him.
No, but you know, I'm analyzing your words. I don't know. I can't admit that right now. You never answered that.
Well, if he makes the MVP, okay, but it don't matter if you make the MVP. Lamar already proved that. It don't matter if you make the MVP if you fail in the playoffs. Didn't Lamar prove that?
Hey, look, from what I've heard, I hear you saying, but from what I hear, Jared don't hate Herbert as much as you do. Jared he knows Herbert exists, puts him over there to the side. He has all his beef with Patrick Mahomes. He's looking up for Patrick Mahomes. He got Herbert to the side. Probably gonna split with Herbert, but he's looking up in Mahomes. I know he hate Mahomes all his heart.
Top dog.
But you know,
I don't. But no, for real though, I don't hate him. I just feel like.
But if he watch these shows, if Herbert watch these shows, he'd get that. Be like, dang, he don't like me, huh?
I'm just saying you need to be judged correctly, or at least judged to how the other players get judged, and that's white privilege.
And that's a fair. Hey, Kendrick Perkins came out, babe. That's
Colin Kaepernick.
I was about to say as a fair point, and then he threw that out, and I was like, I'm just gonna let that thought go into the air. That just be in the air. But
cut that part out.
But this was the first of many podcasts we're gonna do. Sports podcast. He going off is good. But first of many NFL podcasts we're gonna do. NFL streams, NFL content. We're gonna follow Justin Herbert's path, because definitely John has some vendetta against Justin Herbert. So we'll follow Justin Herbert's path, see how it goes.